Directed by Carlos Diegues, the 1986 film Quilombo offers a fictionalized interpretation of the Black-led community of Palmares in northeastern Brazil and its tumultuous history under leaders Ganga Zumba and Zumbi into the 17th century. The film opens in 1650 Brazil on a sugar mill in Pernambuco during the Luso-Dutch War. Dutch officers arrive to trade slaves, and on this same day, the enslaved Afro-Brazilians, led by Abiola, decide to revolt. This begins their journey to Palmares and its rise to become a powerful free black community and stronghold. After killing the Dutch, Acaiuba collects the weapons from the dead and stops over the body of the sugar mill owner to remove the cross around his neck. This is the first time a cross appears in the film. As a symbol of the religion of the Dutch and Portuguese colonizers and slaveholders, it reoccurs throughout the film as an omen of the looming threat they pose. Acaiuba wears the cross throughout their journey, and so the danger of attack follows them. On their journey, a baby boy is born. The baby's birth in the presence of this cross is not coincidental. Over the 30-year time span of the film, the symbolism of the cross will play a crucial role in framing the life of this child, who will eventually rise to become Zumbi, leader of Palmares. However, Zumbi is not the only leader who must bear the implications of this symbol. Abiola becomes Ganga Zumba, and his distance from the cross, at least for now, allows him to grow to become a strong leader. This is as long as he remembers the wise words of Acotiren, his predecessor. What she warns against is the danger that is embodied in the symbolism of the cross. 5 years later, the now established peaceful Palmares settlement is invaded by traders who kidnap the young boy. He is taken to a church where he is tied up and seated before a cross. This marks the start of many years of captivity. The boy is given to the father at the church, who names him Francisco. 15 years later, Francisco is now an adult, still living in the church.
Francisco, você não está me ouvindo. Está muito longe daqui.
This distance brings him a step closer to his escape. In one final moment, he tosses the cross back into the basin, rejecting and refusing the smile of the enemy and the oppressive symbol he was born in the presence of. Finally, Francisco arrives at Palmares and is embraced with open arms by Ganga Zumba and the rest of the Palmares community. Francisco greets everyone as he is led by Acaiuba, who still wears the cross. Once again, we are reminded of the threat that looms. It is at this point in the film when Ganga Zumba's perspective starts to shift. Acaiuba is killed as a result of a deal made in vain. In mourning his friend, Ganga Zumba takes Acaiuba's cross and holds it to his face, closing the distance between himself and the symbol. As he embraces the cross, his downfall as leader begins. Francisco, in the meantime, rises. He goes back to the church where he was held captive to return the knife he took during his escape.
Não, eu não me esqueci. É que isso não ia me servir para nada.
By inverting the symbol and wielding it as a sword, it is clear that he will not fall victim to the same fate that awaits Ganga Zumba. As Ganga Zumba wears the cross, he makes an agreement with the governor of Pernambuco to leave Palmares for Cucaú. He fails, however, to convince his entire community to leave Palmares and divides them into those who will follow him to Cucaú in the hopes of peace, and those who will stay to defend Palmares with Zumbi. Ganga Zumba soon faces the consequences of ignoring the words of Acotiren. When his grave error becomes apparent to him, He poisons himself and frames a Portuguese officer to convince those that did follow him that the Portuguese were not to be trusted and to return to fight.
Leve o povo de volta para Palmares.
Though his life and leadership must give way to the will of the Portuguese colonizers because of his mistake, in taking his life, Ganga Zumba takes the cross with him, allowing for the ascent of Zumbi, who will go on to lead and protect Palmares for the next 11 years.